Peace, peace. Mind Ascension here. Back to the backyard build right now. With the brother again. You know, let me set this up a little bit better. But the brother came up, man, told me he got some things to express. So we just gonna build on those expressions because, as y'all already know, I don't even have to go through it. I tell y'all, I work from the random aspect. I work from the subconscious aspect. You know, I don't like things to be too organized to an extent, because that's the more organized, sometimes the more faker it becomes. I ain't about fakeness. I'm about purity. Right. I'm about authenticity. I'm about giving you the purest form of myself, of my mind, of my intelligence, of my knowledge. Right. And that doesn't come with organization. The same way that we got to understand is when you want to tap into divinity, you have to tap into the right side of the brain, or the feminine principle, because the feminine principle don't work from logic. And it's unfortunate because when I say that, sometimes women who are not aware of this seem to get offended because they associate logic with being intelligent or being smart, which has nothing to do with it. Because if I ask a child how many cookies they want, 1 or 2, and the child's a baby, it's going to choose 2, because that's the logical choice. That don't mean the child is a genius. You see what I'm saying? The child just knows that 2 cookies are better than 1 cookie, and that's logic. But anyway, my brother here has some things to express. I don't even know what it is. He's just going to come out with it, and we're going to start. So, brother, what's good? Let me know, man.
Well, the other day, I didn't even want, the brother, he invited me to, to the spot. And basically, something came to me, man. He was like, yo, let's go, let's do this, man. Let's get live. You know what I mean? So I was like, at first, I hesitated. But today, something came to me, bro. It was saying, basically, yo, sometimes you may want to do something, but not when you want to do it, and the opportunity presents itself. Mm-hmm. You get me? So basically, it's not always when you want to do something. Mm-hmm. If the opportunity presents itself, do it, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you always got to use wisdom out here, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I want people to know, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Use wisdom, but sometimes opportunity may present itself, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Always, and we could be so passive at times, you know what I'm saying? We might be like, nah, you know what I mean? But how you know that opportunity gonna come around again? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
How you know that? Definitely
understand what you're saying.
Right.
Well, on that note, this goes into what I say a lot, which is the spirit speaks in synchronicity. What do I mean by that? We keep wanting things to, and this goes back to how I start my videos, because I'm always talking about randomness. There is no such thing as anything being random anyway. We just use that term, for lack of a better word, to explain the synchronicity of the spirit, or the synchronicity of nature. Everything moves in forms of cycles and moments.
Right.
So therefore, the flower blooms in a specific time of a season.
Right.
The fruit ripens at a specific times of moments of season.
The sun goes down at a certain time.
The sun goes down and goes up.
Right.
We're going into laws of cause and effect. We're going into laws of rhythm. So
if it gets too hot, it start raining.
Okay. Right. So therefore, when we are presented with certain openings and opportunities, they are there based on the synchronicity within that moment or within that spirit. Also, by the way, let me also add this. You can change those synchronicities by raising your magnetism or your attraction by what you dwell on and what you focus on to such an extent that you bring that opportunity forward even more faster. Wow. Now, let's also differentiate. Let's also differentiate, because a lot of times we hear the word opportunity and we think that means a good thing. But opportunity means any fucking thing. It just means the availability, the awareness, the moment in time of something. It could be at your grasp, or be at your control, or be at your so-called benefit, or be at your hinderment. Because we've created opportunities to get arrested. We've created opportunities to get jumped. We've created opportunities to get robbed. We've created opportunities to die. An opportunity doesn't mean good or bad. It doesn't mean positive or negative. It just means an opening that has been created by your thinking, by your dwelling, by your focus, by your attraction, by your magnetism. So, even as we speak right now, you took this opportunity, and I feel I magnetized it. Because honestly, I was very consistent on my videos, almost knocking out a video every day. And just like you asked me earlier, like, when the last time you did a video? And I had to think. I said, damn, okay, that was last 30 when I did a lecture in Harlem. But I kept telling myself, all right, I got to do another video. I got to do another video. And bam, I created this opportunity with you to force me out my comfort zone and say, bruh, listen, I got some shit to express. Let's go get at it.
So inspired, yeah.
Exactly. So That's not a coincidence. And also, what you're talking about with opportunity also coincides with what I'm always speaking about, how there is no coincidences. There are no accidents. Let me tell you something. I know it's hard for us to understand, but that person in your family who you love and who died unexpectedly, that wasn't a fucking accident. I just lost a close friend of mine who was a beautiful African woman, and she was only 42 years old, and she just didn't wake up one day, and nobody to this day, they don't understand what happened. She had chest pains. But anyway, my main point is, you never know who has to transition from this position, time, plane, and dimension in order to become either deified or to become released, or to repeat the cycle, or to repeat the class. Because understand, this life that you are in right now is a classroom. Yeah. The reason why they call a school a university, because within the universities are dimensions which are nothing but levels of classes.
Yo, man, I'm gonna need you to do one thing, bro. Make a caption right under this, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and put seize the moment.
Oh, so now you titling my video. I'm gonna do it though. I'm gonna seize the moment. I like that though. See, because I don't know if y'all know, but I don't title my videos until they completely finish. Right. Because if you notice, like my videos, I'll be talking about one subject and then I'll go into another subject that might not even be related. So I'll wait till my videos end over to go look at it again and go, okay, this is a video so and so and so. And not only that, I don't even think about it. I just let my spirit name the video. And that's one thing that we don't think about. I had a brother in my comments earlier ask me that, is it possible to tap into the feminine without becoming a feminine male? And that's absolutely possible. I do it all the time, because tapping into the feminine is nothing but utilizing your right brain, utilizing your emotion, utilizing your passion, utilizing how you feel about shit, and completely and absolutely leaving out logic. When I'm in my kitchen, when I'm in my lab and doing my alchemy and doing my cooking, I leave out all logic. I don't come up with a specific recipe. It's so funny because people will go, well, I need the recipe for that. I don't write shit down. I don't have a recipe to anything. I just remember what I put in it, and then sometimes it'll come out different than it came out last time, but it always comes out better, because it's about perfecting and not perfection. Right. Let's understand that. Perfection is death. Perfecting is life. Because every day you should be perfecting yourself to a different level, different perspectives, different expansions of mind, different experiences of opportunities to feel different things. A lot of us put ourselves in boxes because we don't feel something. We don't want to feel something that we don't know. We don't want to explain something.
I want to say for the people out there listening, pick up a book, man. All right? We all got to pick up books now. I'm talking about whether you got to start from ABC, literally an ABC book, like the little kids. Start from that.
Start anywhere. And that's another thing people have a problem with. They want a specific book on a specific thing. Fuck that. Go walk into a random thrift store, walk into a random bookstore, close your fucking eyes, spin in a circle, and just walk wherever the hell you stop. And then touch whatever book your hand touches. And I guarantee you, that book will be something that's necessary at that time. Even if it's just one chapter in the book. That you tap into, that explains something to you that you always thought about it don't matter. Because in order to reach levels of divinity, in order to open up spiritually, we have to leave out logic. We have to leave out logic. Now, this is a man telling you this. This is a masculine heterosexual man telling you this shit, because this is what I do. I tap into the God realm. The God realm is not the logical realm. All right? The God realm is the combination of the feminine and masculine, but the feminine side is dominating because she is the conduit between both worlds. So yes, she creates both sexes.
And you know, the people think they know things just by hearing things, right? When you hear something, don't mean you know something, bro. You know what I mean? Because people always say that, bro. They be like, yo, yeah, I heard about it. Man, I'm not interested.
I know what you're talking about.
I heard about it. I'm not interested.
People think they know enough.
Misinformation, bro.
People, not even misinformation. People think they know enough. They think they know enough.
So, if we are kind of gods, right?
Yeah.
We not the gods, but if we are gods, right?
There is no the God. As soon as you say that, you enter in religion.
All right.
There's no the gods.
There's always something. My point is, there's always something we can learn, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? So.
And why is that, though? Because knowledge is infinite. Knowledge is a form of expansion of different levels of experiences, elements, coalescing within the dark matter consciousness, which is intelligence of itself.
Right.
So there's never a time where you can't learn something so-called new. Now, honestly, there really isn't nothing new. It's just new to you, which is why you're always able to learn something new.
Right, because
okay?
if you ride a skateboard, right, you're not going to learn all the tricks in one day, bro.
Yeah.
You're not going to learn how to do it. You know what I mean? I doubt it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, you might mess around and make your own trick after a while.
And that's the point of life, is to be a creator and not an imitator. And see, it's funny because since you brought that up, a lot of us want to, depending on where we are in quote-unquote consciousness and so-called knowledge of self, but we want to take things that our ancestors did or take things that we like or feel comfortable to us, and we want to imitate it to a key and not step out of that box. There's people who are in a Kemetic box or an Egyptology box. There's people who are in a Moorish box. There's people who are in a Marcus Garvey RBG, nationalism box. The fact of the matter is to take those templates and realize that you are here to build upon them. You use them as a stepping stone to another level that hasn't been touched by your ancestors.
Not saying you have to conform to anything.
No.
We can't be ignorant. You know what I mean?
You have to use everything as an ingredient to a new recipe. Right. So I take from the Kemetic, I take from the Nubian, I take from the Moorish and the Olmec, I take from the Ainu, I take from all these different elements that I'm aware have existed before myself, combine them in a pot, and then add my own personal, so-called, for lack of a better word, modern perspective, and allow my own intelligence, my own melanin, my own soul, my own integrity to look for the righteousness within it, the balance within it, and then that becomes the new template. And then who comes after me will change that template into something higher. So that's the whole thing. It's about transmutation. It's about elevation. It's about expansion. You can't expand in a box. It's impossible to put mind ascension in any form of box. I might look like an RBG nigga today. I might look like a Muslim tomorrow. I might look like a Kemetic nigga the next day. You don't know what the fuck mind ascension is, and you're not supposed to, because the most deepest and the most powerful thing in existence is the unknown, is the blackness. Okay, is the primordial waters of noon. I don't want to be Ra. I don't want to be any of the gods of the Nidal. I want to be the primordial blackness that all things came from, because that's unfathomable. And if you know what the fuck I am, and if you're able to place me in a box, then you're able to control me. And that's the fucking problem. If I talk to a Kemetic ass nigga and I start breaking down some shit during the time of Pataites, coming from Nubia, Meroe, and all this shit, he want to start arguing with me because that's going against his religion. If I talk to an RBG, black nationalist ass motherfucker, and I tell him that, listen, nigga, fuck Africa, because we just not African. You know what I'm saying? That we existed before Africa existed. He want to argue with me because I just fucked up his religion. Wow. So the main point is not staying in a box, utilizing every brick that comes from every form of ideology and every thought process around the world and since the beginning of your mindset on this plane, and expanding outward. That's what it's about. You sound like you was going to say something.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I was just listening, man.
But the main point is we have to be careful to not put ourselves in any form of box. Recognize the divinity and the intelligence in all ideologies, all religions. Because listen, I might talk my shit, but there is righteousness, rightness, correctness in every religion you think of. Even when I look at veganism, which y'all know I be shitting on vegans all the time, I don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, there's some shit in veganism that makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? It's about health and blah, blah, blah. I see that. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to allow that to be my box to where I can't go and enjoy a nice meal somewhere because I want to fucking badger the damn waitress or the waiter who ain't got nothing to do with my meal about what kind of dairy or if there's a fucking GMO. So what the fuck am I doing? Why am I there? Lock your ass in the goddamn house and make your own shit and don't go nowhere. Yeah. If you're going to be that type of motherfucker ruining people's day, ruining people's experience, stay your ass in the house. You know what I'm saying? So the point of the matter is, I work through moderation. We work as gods, we work through moderation because we know everything comes from your existence anyway. Everything comes from your mindset and your divinity and your intelligence. So there's nothing in this motherfucker,
and let me tell
bad or good.
Let me tell you something, bro. Yo, people don't want to be around you unless you offering something. You
Okay.
That's just human nature, bro. If you're not bringing something to the table, bro, people don't really want to be around you. Not everybody. There's people that do, But most people.
Well, now, what are you really talking about? You're talking about the ones who have something to offer and the ones who's ready to take. Because the ones who's ready to take don't want to be around somebody who don't have nothing to offer. And then at the end of the day,
I'm just saying in general.
I'm speaking in general too. Right. And at the end of the day, we also got to remember that everything is a form of exchange. The reason why everything is a form of exchange, because now we're going back to the 7 laws, which is basically cause and effect. Cause and effect is an exchange. You see what I'm saying? The reason why I have an effect is because I have a cause. That's a form of exchange. Polarity is an exchange. The reason why we are polar opposites with a center is because we are exchanging in degrees from that spectrum of center.
Right. You know
even what?
I'm saying, like, even in relationships. Like, if we die, it has to be a dialogue. You know what I mean?
Well, look at the word. Relation. What's in the word relation? Relate.
Right.
In order to relate to something, you see what I'm saying? Think about the word. Let's do the etymology right now. Relationship. Take off ship. Relation. Take off the ion. Relate. What is relate? Right. What's a relay race? You see what I'm saying? It's a back and forth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We have to relate to each other. I like this, you like that. Right. You want to do this, I want to do that. We have to relate to each other, and then we we build a kinship, which is where they got ship from, the add on to it, because we build a kinship through that relating. Right. And then we have a relationship.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of things are right in front of our face and very obvious, but we just are not using a certain level of intelligence to break things down. You know, people are always asking me, what's a book for this? What's a book for that? But at the end of the day, every book in existence came from the combination of observation and intelligence. So if I just sit back for 1 second and just look at what the fuck I'm looking at and just focus on what's its purpose, what's its function, why is it doing this? Why is it this color? Why is it this texture? Why is it this dynamic? Why is it aerodynamic? Why is it this or that? Then I can realize what the purpose of that object is, instead of me trying to go find somebody else who did the same shit I just said to explain to me something that I could use my own eyes and my own brain to do the same shit.
Hey, yo, I want to say another thing. Stop basing your success based on somebody else's success.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
People, you know what I mean? Stop. We got to stop doing that, bro.
Well, that comes with the template that you're given of what success is.
Just because I have something and I'm labeled as successful, you have to have that, bro.
Once again, that comes from the template that you've been given of what success is. All of your preferences, your so-called ladies, fellas, I like a chick that look like this. I like green eyes, and I like chicks with straight hair, and I like light-skinned men. I like dark-skinned men. Where the fuck does your preference come from? Does your preference come from your divine self, or does your preference come from the accumulations of your experiences in society and what you've been shown numerous times in consistency that builds a likeness and a preference within your brain to what you feel you're attracted to? But I tell you one thing, mine ascension is attracted to energy. So I could be with a dark-skinned woman, light-skinned woman, tall woman, short woman. Well, I'm not going to lie right now. I'm already short, so I don't want no chick that's 9 feet tall. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Mine essential will never lie to y'all. That's the only part of my ego that still exists. I know I'm already a short dude, so I don't want to be walking down the street with some 9-foot chick. That's my only part of my ego. But other than that, I don't care if you big. I don't care if you small. I don't care if you dark. I don't care if you light-skinned. I don't care if you got short hair. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Because you know what I care about the most, ladies? Is that you're fucking feminine. That's what matters the most to me, is that you are a feminine, natural womb man. That's all that matters to me. Everything after that, I could deal with. We could fuck with each other. No problem. And we could build a complementary energy, creating a form of balance. But I will never lie to y'all. My ascension does not lie to y'all. That microscopic part of my ego that's still left, I don't want to be like, babe, I'm the man. You go with. I don't want to be doing that shit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I like to pick up my women. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I ain't even gonna lie. I've had chicks that was bigger than me. I was able to pick up, but they wasn't taller than me, like skying over me. You know what I'm saying? I got no problem with a chick that's the same height as me, maybe an inch. But if you skying over me, my ego wakes up. Then my ego's like, you midget ass nigga. What the fuck is? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we have to acknowledge our divine side and our human side. I talk to a lot of people who immediately want to deny that they have a European mind. That's bullshit. The fact that I have to convey information to y'all in English is a complete lie. The fact that I dream in English is a complete lie. The fact that I'm wearing a fucking t-shirt is a complete fucking lie. to say that I don't have absolutely, positively no trace of a European mind whatsoever. This bullshit. And if you can't admit to that, then you can never ascend past that, because your admission of the type of mind you possess, the type of ego you possess, allows you to take control over it. But if I pretend it's not there, then it can control me from a hidden point. That's like they used. Why do you think they created the word conspiracy theory? That way, when anybody says something logical that makes fucking sense, you just call them a conspiracy theory to diminish and dismiss that information. Therefore, you don't have to deal with it and acknowledge it, and it continues to control you. It's no different than a Christian pushing you aside and calling you a pagan, because now that word has neutralized every word that came out of your mouth, which is true, to allow them to keep following something which is false.
Well, you said everything that's not Christian is pagan?
No, I'm just using that as an example to where people will hear things. They'll hear things and they'll just say arbitrary words, which are usually taught to them by somebody else. Yeah. It's like a feminist. If I go, well, first of all, man and woman belong together, heterosexual sex brings life, blah, blah. I'll say things that make fucking sense. And here she go, oh my God, you're homophobic. Oh my God, you're machoistic. Oh my God, you're controlling. Oh my God, this is all feminist recessive rhetoric that they created to provide ammunition to any woman who came against intelligence. Because let me tell you something, ladies, your ass never heard the word homophobic in your life at one time. You never heard transphobic, you never heard machoistic. All these words are made up words. But you using them every day now like you the one that created them. You didn't create none of this shit. You just walking around regurgitating the shit.
Wow.
And you using it as a form of ammunition to shoot down any man or any intelligent woman who's giving you facts about life and nature that came long before any white man and any feminist movement and any so-called Western civilization and colonization.
We not bashing, all right? We not bashing. We not chauvinistic.
You can take it any way you want.
We not chauvinistic.
You can take it any way you want. You know, mine essentially don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, I'm here to activate. I'm not here to nurture. I'm not here to rock you to sleep. I'm not here to breastfeed you. I'm not here to do none of that shit. I'm here to activate your ass. And if I'm saying something that cannot resonate with you because you heard a curse word, if I'm saying something that cannot resonate with you because you don't agree with it, then you're not using intelligence. You're not using intelligence. You're using your ego and you're using your belief to block you into a box to where you can't expand past that and become divine. I'm here to make you divine. I'm not here to leave you a human.
What I don't really get is this male versus female type shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it feel like anything you could do, I could do better type feeling? You feel me? What kind of shit is that, bro?
Well, we already know where that comes from, you know. It's back to the same thing I just said. We are it's crazy because not too long ago, this shit didn't even exist, all that competing shit. If we go to the early 70s, the 60s, and the 50s, that shit didn't exist. Right. Men and women weren't battling with each other. Right. So let's stop acting and talking about it like it's been something that's been deemed by nature. It's not been deemed by nature. Your grandmothers took pride in being mothers. Your grandmothers took pride in being creative. Your grandmothers took pride in being nurturers and being caregivers to the entire community. They took pride in that shit. That was a prideful thing to be. Now y'all ashamed of it, but who taught y'all to be ashamed of it? It's not nothing old. This shit ain't ancient. This shit is brand fucking new. In the last 30 to 40 years, you've been trained to be a fucking idiot and reject everything that makes sense for shit that makes you feel good. So because there's not a man in your life to present that complementary aspect to when you feel down, when you feel stressed, he picks you up. To when you feel vulnerable and you feel weak, he gives you strength. So now because you don't have that, you look for that in other places, in feminist movements and black power girl groups and liberation groups. What the fuck? And I'm not mad at you for that, because at the end of the day, as the feminine, you need all those things to depend on, because guess what? Your dependency. I am the interdependent that you depend on. I am your rock. I am your foundation that you rest yourself upon. I am your laborer. You are my creator. There's a completely different thing. But today, you're trying to be the laborer while simultaneously can't leave your function as creator. So now you are disturbing the creation inside you that you are fashioning
that's
improperly.
Our fault, man, for being males not holding our parts. You feel me?
Well, I agree in the surface term. I strongly agree. But in the source term, we have to look at the fact that every male that walks out on any female or any child was fashioned in the womb of an independent woman. Every man on this planet was in the womb of a woman at one time who had a consciousness that was embedded into him, that had a diet that was destroyed into him, and who was born of that woman who gave that child not the proper nurturing and not the proper breast milk and not the proper aspect of consciousness into that child to be the man he's supposed to be. Because if that wasn't true, then we wouldn't have had all the great men we had in the fucking past. If what I said is not true, we wouldn't have had the extreme abundance of black leaders, civil rights movement, Black Panther movements. All these different movements came from what? Black men who had good mothers and fathers. All the shitty niggas you see today was raised by only a woman. So if y'all got shit together, that should mean that every nigga today should be perfect, because 80 to 90% of niggas today are raised by women alone. Am I lying? I was raised by my mother alone. Well, let me not say it. Let me stop lying again. Because my mother was feminine as hell. She was bougie as hell. And y'all seen pictures. My mother was fine. All right. So my mother was never alone. She always had a man. But my biological father was not around. And my mother knew that she could not teach me a lot of things. And I'm not even going to lie. My stepfather, I watched him provide. I watched him love my mother, but he never taught me anything. And I have to be very honest. And I don't know if my sister's watching. My stepsister's watching, Sharice. I love you, by the way. Big Jerry, I never learned anything from him verbally. We never sat down. He never taught me what a man was. He never gave me laws and rules to follow. Like nothing. Nothing. And as a matter of fact, to be very honest with you, all the years I lived with him, our conversation might add up to about maybe an hour or maybe 2 hours maximum of conversation. And we talking about a couple decades now. So I say that to say that my mother already understood that. So what did she do? She gave me the best man possible as a template. And y'all know who that is. Malcolm X. She put Malcolm X above my bed. She gave me a Malcolm X calendar every year. She made me read his biography. She made me watch his movie. And in my life as a little boy, Malcolm X was my father. Malcolm X was the father figure and the symbol as a black boy for me growing up. Just imagine, ladies, y'all don't really know how powerful symbol is. And that's why to have a white Jesus hanging up in your home is beyond one of the most destructive. That's more destructive than flooding a community with crack. Because every day for me to wake up as a young black boy, and as soon as I wake up from my dream, as soon as I wake up from my rest, as soon as I wake up to break my fast, I see this great man above my bed, reminding me every day that I'm a masculine young man, reminding me every day to be ready to die, reminding me every day that by any means necessary. That's what he reminded me every day. That's why I ain't gonna lie, I was very rebellious, because even though I didn't have that direction, which is what the man is for physically right there in front of you, I had righteousness. I was always righteous. You know, but I just didn't have the direction. I wanted to be masculine. I wanted to be strong. So I ran with people who I thought was that. That's another reason why I always hung around older people. But anyway, I'm not making this a damn biography. But, the hell was we talking about? You know, I ain't making mine ascension, don't lie to y'all. I love y'all too much to lie to y'all. That's like me lying to my damn self. I don't lie to myself. I know I'm a midget. You know, I know I ain't the prettiest nigga on the planet. You know what I'm saying? I know there's plenty of things for me to continue to work on. I don't lie to myself. So I don't lie to y'all, because y'all are me. Period. Unless you a white motherfucker out there, y'all are me. So if there's any recessives watching, I ain't talking to y'all ass, but enjoy the show. But anyway, give me something else, brother, before we wrap it up. We about to hit 30 minutes. I don't want to make it too long.
So, yeah, man, that was it, man.
That was it. So let's wrap it up. What did we start out with? We started out with, what did you bring up in the beginning?
Oh, yeah, seize the moment, man.
You talked about seizing the moment. Oh, yes. You talked about opportunities and taking them when they're presented instead of taking them when you want to. And then I talked about...
Always evaluate the situation. You don't want to just jump into things, but...
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's say you could get into a career or something like that, and you like, you know, and it's right there, man. I was giving my man right here the example. Let's say the bus is coming, right?
Yeah.
Or I don't know, the store opens. You know, you go to take a walk and the store opens, right?
Yeah.
It's open early.
Mm-hmm.
But you wanted to shop later. You gonna shop now or you gonna shop later?
Yeah.
And you outside now. You gonna shop now,
And
right?
it's open early for a reason.
Right.
You manifested that. You attracted that.
Don't make it, you know, things
All
different.
your opportunities, good or bad, are created by your ass.
Because
if you don't understand how to take responsibility and
like
accountability for that, you fucking up.
People make things too complicated, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if the sky is blue, it's blue.
Okay.
Why do you have to complicate it and say it's yellow or
All right.
it's green?
Okay.
Unless it really is. You know, we living in them times where, you know, it could be green.
Uh-huh.
But, I'm just saying, bro. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
You know, like people, like you don't know people don't know how to take compliments nowadays. They, you know, they like, you know, you look nice. You know what I mean?
Because everything is an offensive aspect based on the ego dominating us. See, nobody can offend me. The only time you can offend me is trying to take my manhood. That's the only time you could offend me. You can call me an ugly motherfucker. You call me a dumb motherfucker. You can say Mind Ascension don't know what he talking about. Mind Ascension don't make no sense. I don't give a fuck because I know what truth is. And I study heavily. So all I know is that's your ego talking and I don't pay it no mind. But you try to take my manhood, now we got a problem. Other than that, we ain't got no problem. You can say anything you want about me. You call me any name you want. I don't give a damn. Because no human controls me. That's beyond my nature as a man. Let me say that again. No human controls me. That's beyond my nature as a man. Unless you are dealing within trying to take my nature from me, I don't give a fuck what you say. You could gossip. You could talk about me. You call me an agent. You can say whatever you... You know these motherfuckers trying to say I was an agent?
Wow.
Yeah, somebody said that. I forgot who was breaking it down. He was like, yeah, man, they saying that Mind Ascension is an agent. I'm like, all right, shit. Yeah, I'm really in some nice... I'm really an agent. I'm in the fucking backyard right now, you know, talking to a regular brother right here building. So, whatever. I'll take it all.
You a clone.
I'm a clone.
You an alien.
I'm an alien. Whatever. But on that note, I want to wrap this up because I don't want to make my videos too long.
Fact.
And I love y'all. Remember who y'all are. Remember who you supposed to be. Never get stuck in any box. There's nothing wrong with taking a break and relaxing at a level. I don't want y'all to get me wrong. I don't want y'all to think thing is a race, because shit ain't a race, because time is a fucking illusion. But you can relax at a level and just chill for a while and then move up to the next. Never go backwards and never get so complacent to where you start building a box around you. Understand you're here. Your existence is based on expansion.
Seize the moment, man.
Your existence is based on expansion.
Make the most of your time, man.
But on that note, Mind Ascension.
Yo, let's give him a tip. You don't got nothing to do, man. Take a walk in the park, man. Because we got people.
Be in the elements.
You know, we got people just standing around looking crazy. You know what I mean?
Be in the elements. Absorb nature. Sit in the sun.
They got parks in your city, man. You don't got nothing to do. Find somebody play dominoes.
Take your shoes off and put your feet in the dirt.
Word.
Put your feet in the water. Sit in the sunlight.
Right.
Pick a flower and leave a penny on the ground by the flower. Don't ever take nothing from nature and don't leave nothing back. Don't see nothing pretty you like and chop the whole thing out of the ground. If you see a bushel of flowers, pick 1, 2, or 3